What you doing?
Probably one of the most funnest jobs there is in putting a quad together. Beadlock rings.
Funnest?
Most fun.
Yeah.
It's like 11 foot-pounds times 20 times 4.
Nice.
Times you have to go around about 10 times because they just keep tightening down.
And it's for this? Should we even show much?
New build, boys. 19 Xmr Renegade. We're running from one wheels, stretched rear trailing arms, some Super ATV arch stretched front, lower A arms, so we're trying to run 34s with no lift. So we're doing whatever we can to get clearance. So we'll go through the whole build specs after when we're done, but for today we're just trying to get the rear trailing arms and the front A arms on today, and the beadlock rings, the tires mounted, so see if we can actually fit them. So that's the agenda for today. You want me to go? Can you tear it by a couple sets?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Daryl?
Oh, you know, working on an Osta build.
Here at Checkered Flag Automotive in Martinsville, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Get your oil change specials, getting your service done. This is the place to go.
You know what's across the street? McDonald's. McDonald's and a Canadian flag. How about you over here?
You can't turn the camera on when I'm not doing anything but beadlocks.
You're
We
just
just had a pain
supervising.
in the butt. It's like the 19 shocks are a lot longer, so we had to use a floor jack and a hammer to compress the shocks to get them into place to put the bolt in. So hopefully it doesn't put too much angle on the axles. Like I said, with the 19, I don't know if anyone's done this arm with the 19, so I don't even know if it's going to work. So I'm praying it all works, but we might be ordering 4 2018 axles after this.
So we got the back end done. Now the front end. Disassemble.
Disassemble Johnny 5. Back's done. Maybe. Working on the front. I think, I don't have another one here to compare, but I think on the 19s, everything is different design. Obviously there's a front sway bar, which is on the other models, or years of models. But the arched arms, these fronts look super arched. Everything looks different about them. I hope the rubber ball joints are the same because we're going to use these ball joints for the Super ATV forward A-arms. These guys, super cool black tie rods. Where'd that 15 talking about? I don't know.
So what happened?
Huh?
Just explain what happened there.
So I'm tightening the ball joint. The ball joint sucks in, pushing the bolt of the ball joint down, capturing my freaking box end of the ratchet wrench. It was going so great. So now we gotta drop the ball and then hopefully we can swing this out enough to get enough room. It's close, but obviously not close enough. We could just run it like that.
Yeah.
It would self-clearance eventually.
Or just cut it off, you know?
Yeah, just whose blue point ratchet wrench is this? We're just gonna zip cut it.
Hey, if it means we get out of here an hour earlier, you can have to.
Okay, so after all that, we fast forward to today. Ended up being the axles were too long to work with parts that were designed for would be 2012 to 2018 Renegade Xmrs. The 2019 and 2020s, I thought they just would have used offset rims to achieve 1 inch wider width, but turns out it's longer axles, longer arms, longer trailing arms. Everything's different. So all the parts we ordered to try to fit these 34s did not work. But thank God we put all the stock stuff back on. And like I said before, everything fits like a frickin' glove thanks to Birch's frickin' floorboards. That's 100% of the reason why it fits. She's a little tight in the back. kind of hard to see, but there's a good finger width everywhere. So, and a guy could even come in here with a heat gun and push that out and get another half inch at least if a guy needs. And another thing is, we just seated these tires, so we're running like 16 pounds of air right now. So once I get a few miles on them, I'll drop them down to like 8 pounds of air, and that should even give us a teeny bit more. So basically what I'm saying is I hope we have no more issues. I wish we would have just tried the tires right off the bat, rather than wasting a few hours trying to replace all the arms and everything. But I just didn't know, and I did some research and I couldn't really find a straight answer. So now we know. Now you guys know. The aftermarket's gonna have to catch up, and they're gonna have to make arms that work for the 19 and 20s. So don't order stuff for the 2012s to 2018s because they're just not gonna work. Axles are too long. Everything's a bit different. So keep that in mind. So anyways, on to a few other of the features. Just doing a little bit more finishing up on the new Renegade build, and we just put the 2-inch rocks risers on an XMR. They're 1.1/8 size. Normal Outlanders and Renegades are 7/8 bar diameter. So we stuck that on. It's a 2-inch riser. Originally I thought we were going to be pretty tight for this brake line, but turned out the way I got it set up, it's just about perfect. Turn all the way, full sweep left, full sweep right, and it's not any tighter than it is now. So that should be really good. I did a little bit of more reorganizing with the wires. Basically kind of split them into 2 groups here. I had to undo a couple connectors, and basically they were just kind of twisted up a little. So undo them, dielectric grease them, put them into kind of left and right order, and plug them back in. So the rhino horn's ready to go back on. Just a quick little overview of on the XMRs how they have the vent lines run up. Basically they just got to run up and vent and looped there. They vent in underneath the rhino horn. So yeah, basically everything's coming along really good. We did a couple little things, like we touched up our center caps. We did some flat black painting to get rid of those silver stars. We're just putting together our tiger tail to go in the back there. Good shot of how awesome this RJWC exhaust turned out. Freaking beautiful. Craig sure does a good job with this powder coat. So anyways, yeah, the big deal is, the big thing with this one is we fit 34-inch Assassinators on stock suspension. We got a bit of video of how we tried to do it at first. It didn't work. So we ended up throwing the stock suspension back on, and as you can see, we got decent amount of clearance. And you know, with Can-Am's trailing arm suspension, as the rear compresses, you actually get more gap there. So the suspension cycles backwards and the tire actually moves away from the footwells. So basically the number one reason why we're able to run these are Birch's custom floorboards here. It knocks out about 3 inches off the factory XMR floorboards. So still lots of room for your foot. I'm just wearing my my slippers, but they're size 11 slippers, so you still got plenty of room there for a boot. And they frickin' turn out great. You got them Linexed, super beefy, got some speed holes in them so some stuff can drain out. And the front is freaking gorgeous. On some of the older XMRs, like my 16, the way the lower rad hose came off the water pump, there was issues with that. But the extra width of the 19s, holy, that sure solved that. We didn't have to do anything with that. And there is all kinds of room there. So, and I'm also hoping to, coming down from wheelies, being as the tire sits out as far as it does now, with these new A-arms and stuff, that we won't have any trouble with the headlights. We installed a set of Neutrino LED headlights by RJWC. These suckers are bright as heck, so we got those for light up front. Another thing we're doing up front is we're going to run the BRP Rad Relocate. Birch wants to design a custom bumper and rad relocate this winter, but he needs a bit of time. So for the time being, we're going to run that BRP one. And actually, if you put your own custom cutout plate in it, it doesn't actually look too bad when you're running a bit bigger tires. It looks kind of boxy on a kind of a more stock machine, but I don't mind the look on a on a more modded machine. So we're going to throw that on for the time being. And then Birch also, he designed a whole new rear rack. He's got it almost all the way done. Basically designed it, frickin' bent her all up, welded it. It turned out frickin' great. I'll throw a couple pictures of that in the video here. So he's basically just got to send it off to powder coat, figure out a way how we're going to mount the two down struts. It's got two tubes that come down. figure out a way how we're going to mount that to the rear bumper here and knock that out, get that powder coated, and then we'll throw that on too. We also got some Neutrino. He's got brand new LED brake lights and tail lights, a whole unit. So, and they're really cool. They're smoked gray, so they replaced the incandescent ones. So we got a set of those coming too, so we'll throw those in too. So just a few last things kind of to do. Don't mind the mess in this freaking garage. Few last things left to do, and we're ready to put this baby in the skeg, man. I can't wait. This kind of been dragging on over the summer, but you know, we kind of picked away at it when we could, and huge thanks to Birch. He did most everything. He did the floorboards, hand and thumb warmers, the clutches, the exhaust. He did a ton of work on it. So frickin' hands off to him. We got a special little surprise coming for him. He thinks he's not getting anything. He didn't want anything. He's trying to tell me that he doesn't want anything for all the time he put into that. Well, that's baloney. So we got a little surprise for him coming. So anyways, yeah, just a quick little kind of update of where we're at with the new build. Project Full Pull, we're calling it. We got a nitrous system coming, of course. So we're going to throw that on, and we're going to see if we can full pull some holes. So stay tuned, folks. Okay, boys, we put the plastics back on her. Just a real quick look of kind of how it's sitting today. Like I said, we got the Rad Relocate left to go on, a nitrous kit, rear rack, some Neutrino tail lights. We got the Tiger tail put together and put on. Can't frickin' go out on the trail without one of those. So yeah, basically this is how it's sitting today. Like I said, she's about 85% done. I just wanted to give a kind of a real quick kind of update video on what's happening. I know I haven't said much about the new build, so it was just taking a while to kind of get everything figured out, how it always does on a new build. So yeah, there she is, boys. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get that stuff on here in the next week, and then we'll be frickin' ready to plow her through the skeg. So I can't wait to see how she does. I've been missing a stock height build.